Hello everybody and welcome to another video. If you are new here, my name is Ashley or Ashley B. Lutz on Instagram, and I am here to give you guys a recap of my 2021 NPC Bikini competition journey. So I am going to go over things like my placings at shows, where my macros were at, and stage weights, all that fun stuff, like all the intricacies of the numbers and how my cardio changed, because I would have loved to hear that from another competitor, but keeping in mind that this is my journey, this is just what a prep could look like. It is 99.9% positive that it's not going to look like this for you. Your numbers are going to be different because you have a different body composition, dieting history, you have a different coach, different strategy. So just bear that in mind. But this is what, again, a bikini competition prep experience could look like. So to begin, I just want to preface with, I do work with Jamie DeBernard at Team Fit Body Fusion. Absolutely love her, love the team experience. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know. And I'm happy to answer them because I again, love the experience. But let's start off with a recap, first of all, of my improvement season from this last year. So I went into improvement season the first day was December 14th of 2020, right after my 2020, my very first competition season. So I did my first prep last year in 2020. I started off with a natural federation based out of Texas, and then tried my hand at NPC after having some success there. So I ended up starting with Jamie and Fit Body Fusion for my last two shows of the year. I had done a national show and then joined Fit Body Fusion because I got 9th at that show, and I knew that the next step was to join Fit Body Fusion. Like, I felt it in my heart that was what I needed. So I joined with Jamie, and she immediately put me in Battle of Texas, and then the next week did USA's. So I ended up in 7th place, my first call out in a national level show, and I really needed to work on my upper glutes because they were non-existent. I always call my glutes, my previous glutes, my waterfall booty, because it just like went down like that. There was no like whoop, it was just so waterfall booty. Went to work on that in improvement season and really hit it hard. So Jamie and I worked on increasing my calories and really just training hard with intent, intention, and hard. So within 3.5 months, so from December 14th to March 29th of 2021, we focused on those things. And I ended up getting my overall caloric intake to about 2,600 calories. And I ended up at, because I wrote it down, 340 carbs, 76 fat, and 145 protein, weighing in around 127, 128 pounds. And that was up about between 10 and 12 pounds, depending on the day, from my stage weight or from my stage average weight. So Jamie and I decided to enter prep because my upper glutes really had made a transformation. Everything was looking good. So again, we dove into prep on March 30th of 2021. And the original plan was to do junior nationals on, I have it written down here too, on June 19th, which would have been about an 11.5 week prep. But Jamie, I think she's known for doing this. She said, I think the next week or 2 weeks later, she said, you know what? It was the next week, because she said, you know what? I changed my mind. You look 5 weeks out, not 11. And I was like, huh? What? So she said, what do you think about doing junior USA's on May 15th? Again, at that point it was 5 weeks out, and I said, if you think I'll be ready, I'm down. Let's do it. I'm game, coach. Put me in. So within that time, so about 6.5 weeks, my cardio didn't change much. My steps did go up from 10 to 12K about, I think, 3 or 4 weeks out, and then from 12 to 15K, 2 to 3 weeks out. So steps got increased overall 10 to 15K within that 6.5 weeks before Junior USA's. And my macros did drop. I went from about the 2,600 calorie mark to 1,720 calories. So definitely a big drop from there. And my macro distribution was at the very lowest point at that point was 140 carb, 60 fat, and 155 protein. And my weight went from about, that 127, 128 mark to about 121 pounds, but I stepped on stage at 120. But my real weight had been fluctuating in the 121s before that. So that's about what I count. So I was down like 6-7 pounds, and I definitely felt a little soft on stage, but Jamie wanted to bring me in soft for the show to see what the judges thought of that look, because she wanted to keep going slow and steady with my cut, and again, just see how things panned out with the judges, what their feedback was on it, and we could always continue cutting from there. So at that show, I did place third, which I was really, really happy and honestly kind of surprised about, but I was like, that's fine, I will take it. So that was awesome. And then we decided, okay, let's keep going on to Junior Nationals, which was on June 19th, 5 weeks later. So within that 5 weeks, Jamie did actually up my overall caloric intake a little bit from where I ended on with Junior USA's. So I think I started around like 1,800 calories at that point. And we did add in, we kept the 15,000 steps, but we added in 2 HIIT sessions. And those 2 HIIT sessions were, I generally did those on the bike, and it was just 6 rounds of 20 seconds going as hard as I could, 1 minute and 40 seconds of, kind of a, not rest, but like an active, moderate pace. So 6 rounds of that. By the second show, so by Junior Nationals on June 19th, again, those 2 HIIT sessions were added, steps stayed at 15,000, and my overall caloric intake went from that lowest point of 1,720 calories for my previous show to 1,670. So really not a big decrease. It was like a 50 calorie decrease, but my weight, I ended up going from that 120 stage weight to a 115.7 stage weight. So that just shows you, slow and steady wins the race. I mean, small changes add up over time, literally minus 50 calories and plus 2 HIIT sessions. And I was down 4.3 pounds. So that's pretty nuts. But anyways, for Junior Nationals, I ended up placing second, and that was even more exciting. And I absolutely love those stage shots. Just side note, if you guys get a chance to do Junior Nationals, do it. That is an awesome show. I think Sandy helped a lot with that show, one of the head judges, and it was amazing. Like the production quality, the stage, I felt like I was on the Olympia stage or something. I mean, I felt like it was so awesome. And at that show, literally, I think I talked about this in my show day blog, but everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong at that show. My tan almost turned red because I forgot my super dark, which was stupid, but we resolved that one. It was fine. And then 2, my suit broke, so my connector right here popped off when I was getting my glaze on, so that was fun. And then a suit maker had to come and help me sew it together, which I was so incredibly thankful that she was there, because otherwise I would have had to safety pin or do something. That was the closest call ever. And then 3 at finals, I literally almost fell down on stage. Like, I had a wobble that I thought I was going down. My husband thought I was going down. I didn't go down, thank goodness. But anyways, that was my best national showing yet, and I'm so proud of that package. And the feedback from that show was that Sandy wanted my glutes a little bit tighter, but my back was too lean. So she suggested hiding my back with hair. So doing some curly hair extensions, maybe hiding the back, and lower body in that glute area just needed to be a little bit tighter. So Jamie and I got to work, and we came in a little bit tighter 2 weeks later. So I literally had 2 weeks to, make those adjustments for Universe on July 2nd. And at that point, Jamie actually had to increase my overall caloric intake, because I was just dropping like crazy at that point. So I think she ended up bumping me up to about 1,800 calories. 190 carb, 50 fat, and 155 protein for the majority of those 2 weeks. I did do 2 HIIT sessions in that time. But yeah, I mean, weight was just dropping like crazy. And I ended up stepping on stage at 114.7, which was only a pound down from junior nationals. But I think on average, I had been weighing more than that at junior nationals. So I think my average weight was really like 116, 117. So on average, I think I had dropped more than a pound. I looked a lot leaner. And I know weight at that point, I mean, a pound is pretty significant, but still, I think it was even more than that. And yeah, so at that show, I feel like it was my best package. Jamie and I, we absolutely loved it. I will forever love that package, I think, but it did not get rewarded like we were hoping. So I did end up getting 7th place, which was first call outs, and I was very excited about it. But I mean, as soon as we lined up, I was immediately moved to the outside. So that's never a good sign. That's a sign when you go, uh-oh, something is not going to go my way here. So what ended up happening, Sandy talked to her after the show, and she said that my lower body was just losing too much size, mass. It was really my legs, not so much my glutes. And my glutes actually stayed really nice and full, but they still weren't chiseled out and as defined as she wanted to see, yet my legs were still losing size. So, and I talked about this in my previous video, being a natural athlete, that is just one of the concessions you make at some point, is you will lose muscle in a deficit. Hopefully not a lot, and I don't think I lost a ton, but toward the end, I think that, it may have started happening a bit more as I got down to like the nitty-gritty leanness. And at the end of the day, if I had more glute muscle, then that glute muscle would have protruded more and appeared like I had leaner glutes, even though I wasn't as lean. So that is the game plan moving forward into improvement season. So, Jamie and I sat down and we had a little heart to heart, just decide what is the next step. I think I could have probably reversed up, put on a little bit more size, and then gone into USAs in a few weeks, but that's just not where my heart is right now. My heart is, in my heart, I know that even if I turned pro, I would not have a competitive pro physique. And at that point, I want to be my very best. And I think that with another improvement season, Jamie and I can do some serious growing and serious damage to these glutes and just bring an undeniable package next time. Because when I step on stage next, I want to be the winner. Like, I want to have the winning physique that I know I have in me. I want to step on stage, be undeniable at the NPC level, and be competitive at the IFBB level. Because again, I think if I had gotten my pro card this year, I would have gotten eaten alive in the IFBB, just being very candid. So at this point, improvement season seemed like the best option, because that way, instead of reversing, going into USAs and maybe getting my pro card, we're just going to use this time to our advantage and grow now. So we're growing, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be growing, and it felt right in my heart. It just felt really right. So I'm excited about it, and it is Operation Continue to Grow the Glutes, but more specifically now, because my upper glute, I'm happy with that, but it's like the lower tie-in area that I need more density, I need more mass, so that's what we're gonna do. And of course, focus on all the other areas too, like delts and just maintenance parts. That is my 2021 season recap in a nutshell. Let's talk a little bit more about plans moving forward. I will be doing a reverse diet. So Jamie will be slowly walking up my calories, my overall intake, and my macros. I did have a free meal after my show on Friday, and the next day I went out to breakfast and I got cinnamon roll and a biscuit and a chicken salad sandwich. I estimated all, I tracked it, and I have been eating my own food since. And really I went back to peak week foods, and now I'm slowly introducing more foods. So starting with whole foods, then I'll go into the more like fun ones. And the reason why I'm doing that is because this is a marathon, not a sprint. I don't need to shock my body with all these new foods that I haven't been eating in forever. I'll slowly introduce them and incorporate them. I think my body's gonna thank me. It's gonna hopefully not be in too much shock. So that's what we're doing. I already had my first macro bump today, and it's Tuesday, the 6th of July, and it's my check-in day with Jamie. So, my weight on show day, this last show was 114.7. I weighed in at 116.4 today. I felt terrible after that breakfast on Saturday. That was not fun. Do not recommend. But today, I'm feeling pretty good. My digestion is getting back on track. And yeah, I will be hitting the plan 100%. Just because it is improvement season doesn't mean anything really changes from prep, other than the fact that I'm eating more food and doing less steps and cardio, I guess. I treat it with the same intensity, the same effort, and the same consistency as I did prep. So yeah, I think right now my calories are already up to 2,100, which is super cool. She gave me an increase after the show immediately, and then gave me another increase today. So we're up in the food, focusing on those nutrient-dense foods first and foremost. We'll be incorporating some fun foods. We'll be incorporating some more estimated meals out with my husband and my loved ones, because it's important, I think, in improvement season to incorporate those things, because, that's part of improvement season, improving everything, not just what you do in the gym, body comp, whatever. It's also improving your work, improving your friends and family relationships, improving relationship with your significant other, kids, dogs, friends, whoever it may be. So yeah, part of that is going to be eating out with my husband. I'm not trying to eat out every night. He knows that, but every once in a while, of course, like probably once a week at least. And that to me is a good balance of, hitting my goals and keeping my body happy and healthy, because my body has treated me so good. I want to nourish it with the right foods, right meaning nutrient dense. And yeah, I also want to, enjoy life a little. It's life season too. So I think that my husband and I actually have some exciting things coming up. Oh, I'm so excited. But more to come on that within the next 2 months, 3 months. We'll see. That is it. That is the conclusion of my 2021 season. What you can expect from this channel moving forward is going to be, improvement season progress in the gym, in the kitchen, with my husband. He won't make too many appearances on YouTube, I don't think. But yeah, just life updates and life improvements. But I'm excited to take you guys along this reverse diet and improvement season, keep you up to date with physique updates and just what's going on. Lots more full days of eating to come. They'll be more exciting than prep because I'll have more food variety and such. Anyways, thank you all so much for all of your support and your love during this prep, because man, I have a really cool support system. You guys really just, I don't know. It's just been really cool to see this little community being built, and I just appreciate all of your kind words and support. So thank you very much. Let me know if you have any video ideas or suggestions. I'll try to make them happen. Okay, I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
I walk within your maze. My head is dizzy like the purple haze. I don't know